Howdy, you two.
Hi.
Hey, what's up again? I'm just so happy, ladies and gentlemen, that I have the power to record, and that anything that is about to happen because of James is just pure comedic gold.
Blinded by the light.
There he is. I'm already recording. I got some of the shit you were doing in the background.
Baby. I'm hyped
Let's
up.
go.
Boom. I don't know. In case I need a butter knife by my window. What if someone breaks in the window? I'll stab them with a butter knife.
Dude, what if you need toast?
Got that motherfucking tang on me, boy.
James is packing. I make that thing go.
Gra-ta-ta-ta.
All right.
Not sober.
Yeah, I know. Who's hosting?
You should probably host. Not gonna lie.
All right. Fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? It's Soggy Boy coming back at you. Another episode of Garbage Time with BOTA. I'm here with everyone's favorite captain, James.
Yeah, baby. Main
Get
vein. Some boat.
Get that C. Look at that C on the shoulder patch right there. C.
It's a C.
Yeah.
Or C cup, because I got some titties.
It's gonna be a great episode for you guys. We're gonna try to dive into some actual serious draft stuff, and it's gonna get derailed at some point, most likely within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Y'all ready for this? I found a can of nuts.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, which you should, those aren't real nuts. Snakes in a can, you bitch. Everyone knows that.
There's
snakes in a can, you bitch. Those don't exist. Those are never a thing. They don't exist.
Macadamia nuts?
They're macadamia
No,
nuts.
it's not a thing. It's always snakes in a can. Oh. What does that smell?
It's Maui onion and garlic.
It's actually
Oh.
really good.
All right, well, might as well try one, right? Megan says they're good. Yeet. Not good.
You're doing
Oh god. Oh god. Jesus. Wait, so it's Maui onion and garlic, and you wonder why everyone calls you Shrek. Get out, me swamp! All right. Well, this is a continuation from last week, boys and girls. We are going over our top 5 wide receivers, tight ends, and I believe linebackers, right? Or are we going edge?
Edge.
We're going edge. My fault. I thought we were doing linebackers. So, again, wide receivers, tight ends, edge rushers. Those are our 3. James, you've already told us that you have written these notes while you were absolutely rocked.
I did. I told everybody.
No, you've already told me, but now you're telling everyone.
So I wrote these notes just sloshed. So I'm gonna be reading them as is, and we're just gonna go with it.
Yes, and yeah, and knowing me, I'm gonna pull some shit out of my ass that I have no idea what I'm talking about, most likely for all 3 categories. So can't wait.
Yeah, you mean you definitely didn't get roasted in the comment section last time for that.
Yeah, I know.
Although you did just get a really nice comment from Masshole Perspective.
Oh, I didn't see it. I'm not getting notifications. I'm not getting comment notifications anymore. I don't know why. That's an issue. Anyways, let's start off, James. Let's I think do probably the deepest wide receiver class we've seen in a while.
Oh yeah.
It's shit deep. It's real deep.
Oh, I'm about to get some heat for this one, boy.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, but that's all right because there are 2 Alabama wide receivers, and only one of them makes my top 5.
Same though.
Hey!
Hey!
What that noise?
Oh my god, it's gonna be
All
a
right.
bitch to edit. It's gonna be ear bleeding.
Oh god, yeah. You can. Well, I'm editing the audio in the video, so it's good.
Oh, I'm doing the audio.
No, I got you.
Why?
Don't argue.
Okay.
Make me love you. Girl,
Bet.
let me love you.
Bet ski like a jet ski,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. I don't have to go to work till 1 tomorrow. So,
Okay. Well,
anyways,
cool.
let's start. Let's start with the wide receivers. I will go first. I will confidently say I think I have a good top 5.
Okay.
I mean, I think number 1 in everyone's book should most likely be the same. We're gonna go Jamar Chase. I mean, dude's a stud. He really did.
If Trevor Lawrence is the most refined quarterback we've seen in recent years since Andrew Luck, Jamar Chase is arguably the most refined wide receiver we've seen in ages in the draft. He does every single thing well. He's my number 1 as well. He runs routes well. He breaks off well. He gets yak ability. He has yak ability. Every single thing.
Yak
Maybe
attack.
work on blocking. Like, is that really that? Like, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's the thing, though. That's something that's super coachable is blocking.
Right.
I mean, if you have the strength to go up and be, a wide receiver like that, I mean, you can run block pretty easily, especially on smaller corners. I mean, it's not that hard.
No.
If Julian Edelman at 5'10" can run block and be one of the best run blocking wide receivers in the league, then Jamar Chase should be just fine.
100%.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, consensus number 1.
Consensus number 1. Yeah. And I mean, and obviously there are multiple places that he could go. I mean, a lot of people have him going to the Dolphins at 6, but I got a report today saying that the Dolphins are looking to trade out of 6 again. So we'll see. Yeah, I know. It's real interesting. I know. I wonder who's going there. Anyways, moving on. My number 2. My number 2 is tough. I mean, I gotta go Devonta Smith.
Woo!
Gotta go
2
Devonta
for
Smith.
2, baby.
I think out of either of the Alabama wide receivers, he clearly outclasses the other, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean, just looking at their college stats, I put up a this or that. Devonta Smith's 2020 season was better than all 4 of Jalen Waddle's seasons combined. Yes, I understand he had an injury, but when did he have that injury? Senior year, right?
Yeah.
Right. What about the other 3 seasons? Was he fine? Did he play
it was
games?
fine. And then the biggest argument that goes with that is, well, Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs were there 2 years ago. It's like, all right, but Devonta Smith still put up 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
Granted, there's not enough to go around each time, but how do you still put up 1,000 yards when 2 guys were consensus first-round picks? I don't know about consensus. Henry Ruggs should have been a first-round pick, but that's a whole
probably
other
not.
story.
Well, I mean,
No.
yeah, but it's the Raiders. What do you expect? But anyways, Devonta Smith, I think I'm assuming both of us have that number 2, right?
Mm-hmm. I have Devonta Smith in my number 2. He does basically the same thing as Jamar Chase, but the only knock against him is that he's 170 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, again, something that is coachable. Hit the gym, baby. Hit the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Hit those weights. You bulk up. I mean, if you bulk up, you're automatically, or not automatically, but you're giving yourself a longer leash, especially with injuries, because Alabama wide receivers in injuries. I don't know. Apparently, because Jalen Waddle, not so good.
I wouldn't be too worried about his weight. I don't hold it too much into account, but I do think Jamar Chase is that much better than the rest of the pack.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with weight. It's just based on skill alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, I got my number 3. It's going to be Rashad Bateman.
Let's go. 3 for 3, baby.
Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. I like his game. I did take a good look at these wide receivers. I think that, looking at these next 2 with Rashad Bateman and my number 4 pick, they're very similar skill sets. They're looking to go at very, very close together. I mean, when we did our draft, we had both of these guys going, I believe, 21 and 22. Huh? Yeah, we had them going to the Titans and Colts, I believe.
Yeah.
So, Rashad Bateman, my number 3. My number 4 is going to be Elijah Moore.
Dude, stop.
Okay.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I swear to God.
Are we about to have a full sweep on our top 5?
Yeah, because you know who my 5 is.
I don't know if I know who your 5 is.
You know who my 5 is. You know who my 5. Come on. Who's my 5? Who's my 5? It
Is
ain't
it
Kadarius. It's not Kadarius Toney. He's gonna
It
be a
shouldn't
bust.
be.
We already agreed.
Yeah.
No. I am going with Jamar Chase's best friend on LSU.
Damn it.
No.
That's where we split.
Where are you, Rondell?
You went with Terrence Marshall?
I'm going with Terrence Marshall. He's a big body wide receiver.
Yeah.
And he has 23 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
That's a lot, especially
That's a
with
lot.
Jamar Chase being there.
And not to mention, talk about Justin Jefferson 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. LSU wide receiver room stacked. Holy shit.
They've been producing wide receivers.
Yeah, no kidding.
My pick for that fit spot is actually going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown out of USC.
I know you like Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's fair.
I do.
That's
Look,
fair.
I've said this. I'm not going to sell you guys, our loyal fans, a draft diamond if I don't genuinely believe in them. And Amon-Ra has everything. He's explosive. He has yak ability. He can line up anywhere. He's a monster. He's so freaking good. And him filling out that fifth spot, I am so confident in.
I like it. I like it. Putting your ass on the line for it.
Mhm.
I mean, listen, when you put out the draft diamond for him, I took a look at it because, you know, this was someone that the Patriots could potentially draft, someone the Packers could potentially draft. So it's, you know, looking at both sides of the coin. Obviously, the Patriots and the Packers are both looking for wide receivers.
Right.
And he fits the bill as someone that could replace Julian Edelman.
Honestly, shifty guy,
You know what I
like I
mean?
said, explosive.
Yeah.
In my notes, it says yak, 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 yak.
Right. That's something that the Patriots need because Cam is not going to be throwing the ball 50 yards down the field like he was in his MVP season.
No.
He gets the ball. If you get the ball off quick, you need explosive playmakers that are going to have that yak ability. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I would love to see him in a Patriots uniform. I'd love to see that.
I would love to see it. I think, I hate to tell you, I think it ends up in Green Bay, but it's good for Drew.
I would be fine with that too. I'd love to see that in Green Bay. I mean, you know, if the Patriots aren't going to win a Super Bowl, it's either going to be the Browns or the Packers. I mean, I'm going to root for my boys. So got to root.
Quick notes about who we talked about before. Rashad Bateman. We talked about Dominator rating on our Instagram a couple weeks ago or something like that. And then I brought it up again recently.
Yep.
He led all of the 2021 class with 35%. So that means 35% of their total yards and receiving and total touchdowns went through Rashad Bateman in Minnesota. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is mental.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mental. Elijah Moore, you look at him, he's shifty as hell. He's fast. He lines up in the slot. He's a killer. We know Ole Miss has been producing wide receivers like A.J. Brown and DK.
Mm-hmm.
Struggling in press coverage kind of worries me. That's why he's knocked down a little bit lower. If he wasn't as like small and like had troubles with that, I might bump him up a little bit more to maybe that 3 spot.
See, here's my thing about Elijah Moore, and that, you know, if they're touting him as a slot guy, right?
Yep.
So if you're in the slot, you know, press coverage is going to be a lot harder to play, I think, rather than if he was an outside guy. So if you're putting him on the outside, then yeah, I'd understand being a little worried about press coverage, but, you know, you're putting him in the middle of the field, you're putting him in the slot. He's got plenty of room to make, you know, a move, get out of that press coverage. So we'll see. I mean, what?
Sophie's barking behind me. She's ruining the show.
No, she's not ruining
I'm
the
gonna
show.
put her back on the streets.
Honestly, James, knowing that I don't have a butter knife next to my bed is actually ruining the show.
You should have a butter knife.
I really should have a butter
What
knife.
if someone breaks in? You ready to go?
I
Give me
have to
toast or you'll die.
I have to do the hospitable thing and make him toast. I mean, that's just
buttered toast.
buttered toast
Exactly.
with jam. If you don't need jam on your toast, are you even British?
I don't know. Fuck. Now I'm panicking.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
Panic stuff.
I'm actually kind of impressed in us. We almost had a full top 5 that lined up perfectly.
We did. Well, I mean, there's not a lot of leeway with the first, you know, 2, but, you know, I think both of us are sold on the fact that Jalen Waddle is going to be a bust. We're both sold on that Kadarius Toney is going to be a bust. I mean, I think that I just don't see it with Jalen Waddle. I mean, you know, everyone's hyping him up from the limited things we've seen, but I just don't see it.
No, I mean, I get what they're talking about with like, oh, he's explosive. Cool. But he's a special teams guy who fed off other receivers.
Right.
So,
Right. Exactly. I mean, you know, I'm not drafting Jalen Waddle at pick number 15 for special teams. That's just not happening. That's not a thing
No.
you do. You draft him maybe in the 3rd round as a project, if that's really what it is. But because he's got that pedigree, because he's Alabama, because he's, fed off of guys like Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Devonta Smith. I mean, you can keep going. It just, not to mention, they've had top tier pedigree running backs that have opened the field even more for them. So, I mean, you can keep going down the list.
Not to mention, they've had top tier linemen protecting those running backs, protecting those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Mm.
And, not that Alabama quarterbacks going into the NFL are great, but they play fire when they're in college. So,
yeah, I mean, shit. AJ McCarron
can't-
was a stud in college. Look at him now.
Oh, he was nasty. Yeah. Where is he now? Texas?
I don't even know if he's playing, honestly.
I don't know. We'll have to look it up. But anyways, so yeah, I guess those are our wide receivers. I mean, there's not much else to say, but yeah, we don't really believe that much in Jalen Waddle. It's gonna be a tough watch if any of our teams draft them. I mean, you and Drew are most likely safe. I'm a little worried what the Patriots might do if they don't trade up, I guess, or or in fact go for a wide receiver. I don't like the fact that Bill is now actively trying to go for wide receiver talent when he has not hit on one in a long time.
A long time. And Jalen Waddle's just going to friggin' fall through the cracks.
Because you really don't know what you have with them. You really don't. You only have a small sample size. And I think in this instance, it's too small because you know what he is when there's loaded talent around him. But if he goes to a team like the Patriots, where he's most likely going to have to be a number 1 or a number 2 guy, how is he going to be? I mean, look at what happened with N'Keal.
Wasn't ready to be a number 1 guy, got thrown into the role, and now here we are.
Yep. Now he's on the verge of being traded.
Or cut.
Or
honestly.
cut. I mean, obviously, I'd rather have him traded, but yeah, cut as well. I get you. All right, James. Let's move on. Let's go to tight ends. I need to pull up the list and look at who I like.
Okay, let me leave with tight ends then.
All right, do it up.
All right, so I think consensus.
Yeah,
here's the thing.
Consensus number 1.
Consensus number 1's Kyle Pitts, but here's my thing about that, and I put Kyle Pitts as my number 1. Kyle Pitts is a phenomenal pass catcher. He's basically a utility tight end that can be used as a wide receiver, mostly used as a wide receiver. His blocking is fine. It's good, but he doesn't play the traditional tight end role that we're kind of seeing now. And the traditional tight end role I'm talking about, like receiving, rolling off of blocks, still using his blocking. He's a receiver, and he's great at it. He's a stud. He's going to be a beast in the NFL. But he's not the best pure tight end we have on the board. So Kyle Pitts still gets my 1, because he is listed as a tight end and he is the best available tight end. But my number 2 should be my number 1 if Kyle Pitts didn't exist. It's going to be controversial, and I stood on this, and it's another draft diamond.
I know. It's Hunter.
I got Hunter Long. Also, I want to say for Kyle Pitts, I wrote Kyle Pitts in my mouth and Hunter Long dick. So Hunter Long does everything well with blocking. He's a stud with the blocks. He also led tight ends with 76 receptions last year, which didn't necessarily all turn into touchdowns. They never will, but he was a reliable guy. He's the guy who's going to be there. So Hunter Long has all the ability in the world. My number 3. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I was just going to say, I'm going to agree with you. My 1-2 right off the bat. Obviously, being from Boston.
Yeah. Oh, definite bias too.
Well, no, I mean, obviously biased, but I mean, more or less, it's the fact that, we're exposed to his game more because he plays at BC. Not that it's, a prestigious football school or anything by that means, but, his name's up there for a reason. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He played really well. I mean, he's gonna be one of those tight ends that is, like you said, gonna be there. He's gonna be the old reliable kind of Jason Witten type, almost. Not obviously not to that pedigree, but the type of tight end that Jason Witten was. It's not big play. It's not over the top. he gets open, he finds the space, he gets the catch, he moves the chains, and that's a very reliable thing to have in the NFL. It's a very good thing to have in the NFL. I mean, I don't really see this as being a very deep tight end draft. So,
oh, my friend.
I don't. I just don't see it. That's all. I just haven't seen enough.
At least beyond this top 5, sure, but the top 5 that we have available in my mind are
good.
Spicy.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, again, you know more than I do with this draft stuff. So,
all right. So we're up to number 3. Oh my God, I was not sober. My number 3 is written as part Firemouth, which translates to Pat Freiermuth out of Penn State. He has been dubbed through college football, through his time in college, through every bit of anything you see about him, that he is baby Gronk. He has the injuries to kind of worry about, but he runs strong when he gets the ball, and he's just hard to tackle. So it's hard to pass up on a guy like that, and he's definitely at 3 because I'm petty and I don't like Penn State. I don't really like the Big Ten in general, but here we are.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a good point.
If you want to go with your 3, go for it. Actually,
I'm also going to agree. I was between what is it, Freiermuth, Jesus, Pat Freiermuth and Hunter Long at the 2, but I liked more of Hunter Long's game. I think it's going to translate better, especially with the fact that, like you said, Freiermuth was injured, and injury history is going to play a big part in why I think he's the number 3 tight end. He's sitting at 260. He's a big boy. He's a
lot of dude. That's the thing too. Yeah. And he's agile for that speed.
Which, again, that's something that can be worked on. Obviously, if it's 260, he's agile for his weight. He gets it down to 240, and he gets lean. We could be talking about a whole different animal.
Oh yeah.
As for right now, looking at the draft, the prospect itself, 260, that's a lot. If he's that agile, I can only imagine what happens when he goes to the training, does all that kind of stuff. He bulks up or leans down or whatever the hell he's going to do. How was he in the red zone? That's my only question.
Fine. I mean, what you'd expect from him. He would ball hawk people, but really his best skill was if he was going to be in the red zone, being on the tail end, being at the 20, catching it and just plowing people through.
Yeah. Well, well, I mean, I would see that as a plus because you don't have a lot of, kind of playmakers that can do something like that. I mean, obviously you have shifty guys, but there's not a lot of room to run when you're inside the 20. But if you can get a guy that 260, agile as hell, and can absolutely truck you, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can see why they're calling him Mini Gronk at that, with all those things going on. But
honestly,
I'm definitely skeptical of the injuries though, because it's just tough when you injured in college.
It carries over.
It does. It's
not like injuries just disappear when you get into the NFL. You still have an injury history. And
so here's what did he injure?
I'd have to look at the full list, but I believe there were some knee injuries. I might be wrong.
So that's what worries me, especially with a guy like that. He's got a low center of gravity and he's heavy, but knee is a focal point. I mean, look at what happened.
We've got he missed 2020, the end of 2020 with his shoulder.
Shoulder's okay. Shoulder, he'll be fine.
I mean, fine, but if you're gonna dip through, I don't even see what the actual diagnosis is here. But
I mean, again, if shoulder is something that you can work through. Gronk played with a broken, I think, left arm in one of the Super Bowls and was perfect, and played through it. But for a guy like that, big guy, knee, if it's a knee injury, any kind of knee injury like that, then that's a different story. So
I think he would have been better off going into the draft last year, if we're going to be honest. But this year he sits at I think so. I think it would have risen a lot further. I mean, you're looking at him as a 2-3 prospect, but he could have snuck in the first and got himself some more money. Also, maybe avoided that shoulder injury, but either way.
But at the same time, if you're looking at it like this, you get another year at college. Yes, you suffer the injury, but if you move down in the draft a little bit, it still gives you a better chance to end up on a team that can utilize you the way you need to, and be a team that's actually good.
True, but instead he was stuck on a shit Penn State team that got the dick kicked out of them every week.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
So he didn't really do too much for his stock, honestly. It was a gamble and he lost. But moving on, someone who actually increased their stock pretty well is my 4 pick. Imagine, Zach, if you will.
Yep.
Kyle Pitts,
Yep.
receiving monster,
Mm-hmm.
but slower, like by a lot.
Oh, okay.
And that's
So
Brevin Jordan of
all right.
Miami.
All right.
He's great, but he runs like he runs through mud. It's scary to see. I mean, he's deadly in the red zone. That's where he kind of transition off of that is like Brevin Jordan in the red zone. It's just toss the ball up. He's going to get it. He's going to ball hawk. He's going to overpower, and he's going to destroy. But anything more than that, not great.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously want to see, usage in the red zone. I mean, if he's big and lunky, kind of like how Kyle Pitts is almost a little bit, but it would be really interesting because I'm just reading his draft profile. It says they used him closer to an RB more than anything else, which is very interesting to see out of a tight end, which is I feel like that's one of the last things
that was said too. Yeah, he would almost line up as like a 2 RB set and just kind of wheel out from what I remember. I watched a bunch of Miami, but like they used him very, very interestingly for a guy who, in my opinion, doesn't have the top speed or keeps up with the speed that would match with all these tight ends. But whatever. I'm not an expert. I'm just a degenerate drunk.
Yeah. I for the sake of tight end specific, my number 4, where I'm number 4, right? My number 4 is gonna be Tommy Tremble.
Oh, Tommy Tremble, good pick.
I think that it's going to translate well for him, especially because he is the best blocking tight end most likely in this draft. And that's going to translate very well for him because, it don't have to be what tight ends are now to be a good tight end. And, if you're good at something, continue doing it. You have a guy like that. The reason why Gronk was so good, yes, he had all the flashy ability and he could make one-handed catches and all that crap, but he was the best blocking tight end in the league. And that's a huge part of the Patriots offense that they missed when he left. I mean, you're basically putting an all-pro, lineman out there that can also run down the field and score 10 touchdowns a game. A season.
Yeah.
So, something like Tremble, you get that all-pro kind of blocking in there. You can work on the receiving game. Doesn't have to be flashy. Doesn't have to be great. You turn around, you can run a 5-yard check down. You get the yards. He has to work on his ability after the catch, I'm assuming, because if you're focusing on blocking all the time, it's not really going to translate into the receiving game. But just based solely on his blocking ability, I would give him a leg up on the other candidates. So
yeah, I mean that's fair. Blocking wise, I'd still take my mid 3. I don't think you're wrong. Tommy Tremblay is gonna be great, but like when you look at it from a perspective of like a scoring tight end, he's much more of a traditional like step up on the line and just body people.
Yeah, which
once again, not bad. That's a useful thing. That is what tight ends were made for. But,
it would be best served for him to go to a team that does a lot of running.
Yeah.
You get those kind of play action passes, a tight end like that would be perfect in those kind of sets. So, but I think a lot of these, a lot of the tight ends, it's going to be where they go. I mean, we can rank them based off of, how well they did in college and all this kind of shit. If you can say, oh, well, you know what? It doesn't really matter where he's going to go. He's going to ball out. Then it's different. Kyle Pitts, it doesn't matter where he's going. He's going to ball. He's going to ball. But a guy like Tremble, it does matter where he goes. It's going to matter a huge amount. If he goes to a high passing offense, it's not going to be great for him because, he seems like a guy that wants to get aggressive at the line and run block. I mean, I think any lineman really wants to run block, would much rather run block than pass block. but
All right.
just depends.
Do you want to go with your last pick or want me to go with mine?
You go for yours.
My last pick, and this one's a little bit of a sleeper and a preview for Draft Diamonds this week, is a player out of SMU, Kylan Granson. I've talked about matchup nightmares all the time and like all this. Imagine a 6'2", 242 tight end who has, in all caps, I've wrote Swiss Army tight end, dude lined up as an RB, fact, a slot wide receiver, fact, and a tight end. He can line up all over the field and have success. Blocking's not really there. I'm going to be honest with you. It's fine. It's fine, not great. But receiving wise, this dude's dynamic.
Okay.
There's another dude I could see like, and we've talked about this at depth, but like, and they don't need another tight end, but like the Patriots, where if you have a guy who can do like more than one thing, it's like, oh, Bill Belichick's like, bing. Kylan Granson could be a great guy to keep in the system and train under these two strong tight ends.
Yeah, I mean, that should be interesting. Again, it's like another guy that you look at and he's almost the opposite of a guy like Tremble. I mean, he is the wide receiver type. He is the receiving type, the flashy, big play kind of ability, but he doesn't have the blocking.
Right.
So it really is going to matter where he goes, because if you go to an offense that runs a lot and you expect him to block, it's not going to work out. I mean, obviously you want to be more well-rounded as a tight end and be more of a traditional tight end where you block and you catch passes. That's not necessarily going to be the case for him. It's really going to depend where he goes. And it should be really interesting to see where he ends up. I mean, I just don't know where he's going to go in the draft. I'm assuming he's probably going to be like a late pick, right?
You know what? Yeah, definitely like at least day 3. You know what I was thinking of though? That would actually be a really great fit for him. Would be Baltimore, which sucks for me. But pair him up, put him behind Mark Andrews and change like a change of pace tight end almost.
Yeah.
That's killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have that like Hayden.
I can
Hurst.
see that.
Oh my God, that'd be so good.
So looking through my list here, I had one that caught my eye. All right. Okay. So for my number 5, he actually played with Zach Wilson at BYU. Before he opted out of the 2020 season, 2019 year, he hauled in 72 receptions from Zach Wilson as a tight end.
Damn.
Matt Bushman of BYU, obviously draft stock fell because he opted out. He's 25. So that's tough.
That's a hit.
That's a hit. That's definitely a hit. But what does it for me is that he's going to come in. Yes, he's 25, but he already has that upper hand on, I think, that people that are younger. I think he already has that. He's going to have that, I guess, age wisdom. He had a year off, so he's going to be fresh. I mean, again, another guy, depends on where he goes. I think that, he's going to be huge if they could get him on the Jets.
Full pairing,
you pair him back with Zach Wilson. I mean, if you can get him that deep in the draft, why would you not take a flyer on him if you're the Jets? You know what I mean? You get a guy that paired well with Zach Wilson. Can you please tell me if there are any good tight ends in the New York Jets system right now?
Herndon, but he's always either injured or suspended.
Whatever.
Fine, but that's the best I can give you.
I mean, take a flyer out on the kid. Why wouldn't you? I mean, that was the thing for me, is that I could see him going to the Jets, pairing up with Wilson, having that chemistry and getting back into a rhythm where he could be a guy that gets 50 plus receptions from Zach Wilson, because he has that chemistry already. And that's why I have him at number 5, because I expect him to go to the Jets.
I like that. I like that fit, and I haven't thought about that.
I mean, I like thinking about that chemistry. I mean, it would be really nice to see Jamar Chase go to Joe Burrow, go to Cincinnati and have that connection. But they need an offensive lineman. Like that, the need for that is way
Dude.
bigger.
Did
What?
you see Joe
What?
Burrow's scar
No.
in the
I did
photo
not.
shoot?
Really?
Things like almost entirely down his like visible.
Ew, dear God.
That right there, that's the reason you should draft so well.
Yeah, I good point. Good point. Ugh.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Well,
scary.
oh yeah, there's the news. Bengals released a jersey. Cool.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Hey,
NFL's still
they're like
allowed.
super similar to like all the other ones I've ever had.
I do like the white with the black stripes. I can't
No,
lie.
the white with the black stripe
Oh.
is fresh. No, that's nice. I like it.
That's just the color rush though. Anyway,
Yeah.
are we on to edges?
I think we're edging it.
We're edging hard.
Baby.
Okay. Want me to lead off again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. My number, my God, I'm just reading this for the first time. My number one is the monster out of I mean, I guess second time, but first time kind of sober. My number one is the monster out of Miami, Gregory Rousseau. My notes on him, not French. Big if
No.
true.
Yeah.
Huge hands. The dude has like, I have to get the actual stat on it. I'll look it up a little bit later. But a lot of the people in drafts, and this is going to be a thing. This is going to be like a continuing thing. It just happens every single year with players. But his pro comp right now is Chase Young.
Oh God.
Yeah. So that's what he's kind of being touted as the next Chase Young, which I don't necessarily buy in because I think Chase Young was a little bit more athletic. But Gregory Rousseau is a home wrecker. Dude gets in the backfield. If he gets in front of you, good luck passing around him. I got to find his hand size. Great. All right. So that's my number one.
It's really interesting that they're comparing him to Chase Young. I mean, like Chase Young's been in the league for what, 2 years?
Oh,
he
was
a
defensive
year.
rookie of the year. Yeah, right.
A single year. Okay, my bad. The years. I mean,
his hand size. His hand size is 11 and an eighth. Yeah.
What is that from thumb to the end, or is that just from
I don't know. I don't know, but it's so scary.
That's a scary thought.
Pair that with his 34 and a 3/8 length arm.
He could palm your whole head. He could just pick you up like a.
That's horrifying. So that's what I'm saying. Is trying to pass around that, it's impossible. I mean, it's possible because people did it. But Rousseau is a monster. Expect him to be a top tier defensive end in the league.
I gotta switch up on you. I got my number one, the most refined candidate here. It's gonna be Kwity Paye. He had a monster season with Michigan, even though Jim Harbaugh is still the coach there somehow for some fucking reason. I mean, the dude has it all. I mean, he really does. He's fast. Honestly. He's a home wrecker. He's physical. He can get to the outside. He had an 87.1 pass rushing grade. I think that was the best in this draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got to give it to my man. I looked a lot into him as a potential pick for the Patriots. I don't believe he's going to be going there.
I doubt it
now. So
unless some things fall your way, which they could, but I doubt it.
I don't think he's a need for them. I don't think he's a need for them.
No.
Here's a question for you.
Okay.
He's sitting around like the 15 to 22 spot. If he falls all the way down to 22, would you pick him up?
Oh yeah. As a Brown. Yeah, dude. 100%.
You'd have Clowney, Paye,
Garrett.
You get what I'm saying. And Garrett.
Yeah,
yes,
I didn't know if you forgot his name.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, in my ideal world with that, although I love Jordan Elliott, who we got last year out of the draft, I would put Garrett, Paye on the ends, and then stuff Jadeveon Clowney through a tackle position.
Yeah.
And because that's where he lives, right? Besides the edge, like run stopping.
Right.
So if you could pair two monster rushers on each side, yeah, please.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm just saying because
no, I mean it just that's something that has been happening though. Is that he was going to be a possibly a top 15 pick, but it's been shifting around a lot based on what teams really need, and obviously with the trades and everything. So it's looking like he could be sitting there for you. I mean, if you take him, I really see that as a really good win for you.
I'd see it as a W, honestly.
I mean, but think about it. He's not only there, he's going to be learning from Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he's going to be getting the
room.
No, he's going to be getting the best of both worlds. So he's going to be getting the sack tutelage, and he's also going to be getting, run stopping. So you kind of get a little bit of both there.
Oh, I'm super into it. He is my 2 prospect. I do like Rousseau a little bit more just because of his measurables, but Kwity Paye, still a fucking stud. That's why he's my 2. And once again, keep going through this, but either way, you can't go wrong with him.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Rousseau climbing, so I will go with Rousseau as my 2.
Okay.
I think based on the fact that he has 11.8 inch hands or whatever the fuck that's just no.
It's disgusting. It's so fucking.
I think just from a physical standpoint, if you have those size hands, your ability to rip guards or any tackles hands off of you from blocking is just going to be that much easier. I mean, that's just plain and simple.
Oh, interesting little stat-toid here.
What's up?
You know how one of your favorite stories was talking about how the Patriots used like the brooms to deal with JJ Watt?
Yeah, when he was with his pass block
They have the same size hand. So imagine if you can get a healthy, faster JJ Watt.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's nice.
Yeah. Gregory Watt, the 4th Watt brother.
Gregory
Watt.
Okay, so
anyways, go ahead.
Who do you got? Want me to go 3? All right.
Go you. Oh no, I'll go 3.
Okay.
Use my switchboard. What the fuck is wrong with her? I'm gonna stay in Miami.
Oh, really, dude? I pushed him to 4.
I have him at 3. I got Jalen Phillips. I think as a tandem, they were really good in Miami. He had 42 pressures. 42 pressures. If you can generate that amount of pressures, the sacks are going to be there for you, especially in the NFL. I mean,
it's scary. He's a beast. And like the pairing that was him and Rousseau was just unbeatable. It was so fun to watch on defense.
Yeah, my only concern with him would be the concussion history.
I was about to say 3 concussions. That's what knocked him down on my side.
That again. So the raw talent, the raw ability is there. It's the injury history that has him down for me. I guess obviously for James at 4, but I didn't know he went to UCLA before going to Miami.
Yeah, Miami picked up a couple transfers all across the board, most notably Derek King, who we'll see next year. But so yeah, my number 3 was a player that it was rumored to go into the draft last year, did not, stayed another year at Wake Forest, was part of such a phenomenal Wake Forest line, and that's kind of what they've been known for recently. Carlos Basham. What the fuck did I write?
No, I don't know. Oh, God.
Reasons he will be good in NFL. All caps, Basham, space, Basham. Don't know what that means. I'm not 100% sure.
That's amazing.
And then quick run crashed. Okay. Well, my actual thoughts on it were that he was a top 50 player last year. He fell because of a kind of weak play this year, but he's still a great player. He's not so much going to get in the backfield and like stop quarterbacks. He can keep them on the other side and push them away, but he's a run stop guy. And
yeah,
we've seen where that's kind of evaluated all over the NFL, especially with.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like
the thing though, is that,
that
when you're looking at an edge, you just expect them to be the sack guy. I mean, that's why Jadeveon Clowney has been literally, we've seen it. I mean, I put up the fact fiction of him and Garrett getting 10 plus sacks. People shit on Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't need to get the sacks to be an all-pro player. That's the thing. But that's why it's a stat that people, take into account very, very harshly for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Like, you know, if you can be an elite pass protector and pass rusher, I mean, not pass rusher, run stopper. Jesus Christ. If you can be an elite run stopper in this league, it's almost better than being an elite pass rusher, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, especially the way the NFL's trending with mobile like quarterbacks and building into the run. Yes,
exactly. It's good that you can get to the quarterback, but what happens if the quarterback comes to you? What you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? You need to have someone who's ready to stop him.
Exactly.
That's why I like Carlos Basham as my 3. But like I said, Jalen Phillips.
He's your 4.
No, Jalen Phillips is my 4. Remember you put Jalen.
Oh, right. My fault.
So yeah, like I said, Jalen Phillips is my 4. That injury history kind of knocks him down for me.
Yeah.
It bothers me. 3 concussions is a lot of concussions.
Yeah, I'm going Basham at 4 because just he's a little bit of a step down from Phillips, and he's very physical. He can be a very physical player, and that's going to be huge for him in the run game. I just think that compared to either or, obviously the injury history with Phillips is concerning, but I think the potential for Phillips is a little bit higher than Basham, and that's why I have them separated there. So
I like it.
What's your 5? What you got for 5?
My number 5, and this one is just all over the place. Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. So, all right, I guess I'll read it the way I wrote it first. God damn it. All right, so Azeez Ojulari, my 3 points are Georgia, followed by speed is there, and his size needs work, which all fair. Georgia had the best defense in the SEC last year. That's a fact. You can look at whatever in Bama and blah, 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 but it's a fact. Georgia all around had the best defense, and they're going to have another great defensive year. He was a big part of that. The only thing is he's a little bit on the smaller side. I don't know his actual stats. I'll look that up as I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. But he was able to counteract that with his speed. So it depends on how you really evaluate that. It was enough for me to have enough questions I could sit him at 5 comfortably. But yeah, he's 6'2", 249 lean. So it's not bad, but like, it's not what I want. I want a little more body.
Yeah.
Everything he does speed-wise, though, he gets in the backfield and breaks up plays quick.
Yeah.
So that's why I like him at 5.
All right. I'm gonna dig a little bit, James.
Ooh, we're gonna go deep.
I'm gonna dig a little bit.
Mm.
So this guy here, okay, he got hurt this season, but in his 4 games that he played, he had a 90 pass rusher rating. 90. He's 6'5", 270. He has 35-inch arms and 10 1/4 inch hands. So he's still got the big hands. All right.
Big hands.
He has elite speed.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, he has the potential to be very dominant. They have him going, will be a starter within the first 2 seasons. I think on most teams, he can be a starter right away. I'm going Peyton Turner from Houston.
Peyton Turner. And Houston's been known to produce some great freaking talent recently, man.
So, I mean, the thing for me is that you look at it. What's that?
Was Peyton Turner the one that was suggested last time?
What do you mean?
Didn't Eagles season suggest that in the last episode?
I don't know.
I'll look it up. Keep going.
That'd be really funny though. But I was just looking down my list and I'm looking at it, I like playing into guys that are injury, that have injury past or whatever, because
Peyton Turner, it's in the notes. Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. I didn't know that. I didn't look at the notes at all. At all. So
I didn't even have it on there.
But I guess Eagles season, I agree with you. I would go, a nice little sleeper, Peyton Turner, someone, picking him up, 6'5", 270, like I said, 35-inch arms. He's a big dude. Mm-hmm. And he's got elite athleticism to go on with that. Yes, he got hurt, but like you said, Houston's been popping him out.
It's been crazy. And like we talked about, is really
built for the edge.
His knock is that he sometimes plays like too square to his linemen. So
Right.
how is that not coachable?
Right. Oh no, that's complete. That's the thing. It's completely coachable.
Yeah.
And I think that, when people are looking at prospects, it's, oh, well, that's the problem. And you don't really look beyond that. You know what I mean? You don't look beyond how easy is it to fix something. Like, you can't really fix speed. You can't really fix athleticism. It's not something that's coachable. You know what I mean? It's not something you can fix right away. But something like being too square to the blocker, or fixing something like footwork, that is something that's completely coachable. And you can fix that, in a reasonable amount of time for it to be, a factor in the same season, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes complete sense. Yeah.
So
I have nothing to add to it.
I like looking at those kind of guys that what?
No, I'm just smiling. I'm
Oh,
just happy.
all right. Oh, no, that's good. I like looking at those kind of guys that, that have things that are minor things that, yes, they may be knocks on them. And if the fundamentals aren't correct, that's a huge thing, but fundamentals can be taught. Speed, athleticism, all that kind of stuff can't be taught. So it's just a matter of whether or not he's able to pick up on it. And we'll see. Again, the 4 games he played in 2020, 90 passer rush rating. So the best pass rush rating out of any of these guys in 4 games, obviously, is Peyton Turner here. So yeah, that's all I got for you.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's a really great pick, honestly, Zach.
I know I'm gonna get roasted anyways, but that's fine.
No, hey, I'm with you on that one at least. I think that's a phenomenal pick for your 5 spot. The 5 spot could have gone a lot of ways, but
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So who was it? They had his 4 games would have been Tulane, BYU, Navy, and UCF. And he put up a 90.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually shocking. Like, in a good way, shocking.
Yeah.
Because Navy at that point had flipped around. Their season was good. Tulane was on the push to become a top 25 team. BYU with fucking Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And then UCF has been a factory of producing great talent. So shit. All right. Wow. All right.
We'll see. We'll see how he does. I like that pick.
Yeah, dude. Hey, sir. But
those are my soggy selections.
Ooh, damp, dripping. Ooh,
moist.
All right, Zach, dude, we got fucking first round Thursday, baby.
First round Thursday? What's that?
Like the first round of the draft is Thursday.
I know that, but you gotta hype up the fans, James. You gotta explain it to them.
We don't have anything officially planned yet. Fuck.
Shit.
Bitch. We're gonna plan out something. I'm gonna talk to Real Talk. I'm gonna see if they want to do something for the draft. We're gonna plan something out. We're gonna do a little draft show. It's gonna be a good time. I am very excited.
What time is the draft?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. All right. Well, yeah. I will be at work.
I know. Well, I'll be at work too, but I'll be just getting out. So I'm gonna plan something for a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can take a break like right at 8, hop on for a couple like 15 and kind of watch the first maybe 4 or 5 picks or something with you guys. So
yeah, even then I think we'll be outside of the top 5 by the time I'm ready to do the show.
At 8? Right at 8?
I'm done at 8.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, that's fair. Well, I'll talk to I can talk to them too and see if if I am ready for my break before you get out. I can start something with them at least so that we can comment, because obviously 1 and 2 are pretty set in stone, or are set in stone. 3 is up for grabs. So it's going to be a huge thing when they eventually draft Mac Jones at 3. So
please. Anyway, Zach, you want to sign it off? Want me to do it?
I'll sign off.
Do it.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Garbage Time with BOTA. You know who we are. You found us. For James. For everyone else that didn't show up tonight. Fuckers. I'm Zach, a.k.a. Soggy Boy. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher. It's an app that I'm creating.
It's a real app. We're just not on it.
What is it?
It's a podcast app.
All right,
Just
well, we're
don't
getting on
distribute.
it. We're getting
put it on there.
Stitcher. Pay them in Doge.
Oh my god.
We gotta get it. All right, well, thank you guys again. Those were our top 5 tight ends, edge rushers, and wide receivers. You know where to find us again. Stay soggy.
You muted me. It's fine.
I didn't mute you. What do you mean? You're still talking.
Stay beautiful.
dumbasses.
All right, now you can do it. You can close off the show with a stay soggy. I'll allow it. I'm not gonna do it.
All
I'm
right,
not
stay
gonna do
soggy.
it.